General quarters.
Hello everyone, I am Vanrustic. Today I'm going to be showing you a game I had in my Pensacola on the map Trident. For my Pensacola, I have a three-tier captain. He has situational awareness, expert marksman, and vigilance. I do not run any upgrades, and I'm going to tell you why. So, I was like most people who absolutely did not like the Pensacola. In fact, the Pensacola was my very first Tier 7 ship. Uh, Cruiser, battleship, whatever. It was my first Tier 7. And I just couldn't take it. I didn't like the gun traverse. I didn't like the rate of fire. I didn't like how slow the rudder shift was, and overall, I couldn't adapt to it, and that's all it was. It was me, and it's not the ship. So I I let it sit in my port for a really long time, and then recently I had some encouragement on Reddit after reading some people who really liked the ship. So I got the ship again. I played another game on this map actually, and uh, I didn't like it. So, but I still was determined to give it a good fair shot, and I upgraded everything. I used all my free XP, and then I was able to have a pretty good game in it. So I liked it, and then I took it out once more, and I got this game. And this is the one, obviously, I'm showing you because it was really good. And first off, I wanted to apologize for the replay. It kind of bugged out. It wasn't zooming out, but it seemed to have fixed itself now. So
Torpedoes to
now we're
starboard.
going.
Torpedoes to starboard.
So the way that I've found that you need to play this ship is kind of in the middle. So as you can see, there's a cluster of three islands right there in the middle of the map, and my plan was to do a little bit of loop-de-loops and not go into any of the cap points, but kind of stay around and get range on everybody, but not be too close. Because the guns there, they're really good. They hit really hard, but they're not very good at long range. There's still a little bit too much of a long flight time. So I've found that if you are in like the midfield, if you will, you just find that sweet spot where you're not too far away, but you're not brawling either, because you just can't win in a brawl. You don't have torpedoes, you don't have anything, so you might as well just stay in the midfield. And that's the place where I found that Pensacola is just devastating. So we've been getting a couple good hits, especially on that Atlanta. He's given us a little bit more of his side. Maybe we can punish him for it. And then we also see that the Miyoko wants to give us his side too. We take down the Atlanta, and the Miyoko is still giving us his side. So once we're reloaded, we'll teach him what showing your side to a Pensacola does for you. So rounds incoming, and he doesn't seem to be flinching, but he probably should be. So that's two citadels on him right there, and he's now hurting a lot. He's turning away, but he's not turning away enough or fast enough. So we're not going to be reloaded by the time in time to shoot another salvo at him before we go behind this island. So we change our target to one of these others because our whole eastern flank is gone. We never had anybody go there, so. But the good thing is, the enemy team is overextending themselves. They are coming in to this area, and they're just giving us the broadsides. And then I take a good citadel on the rear turret of that Nuremberg. And the great thing about this is, there's nowhere for him to go. If he turns towards us, he loses a lot of damage per second because his turrets are in the back, so he has to turn away. But he cannot turn away because the island's there. So we got him in a good spot, and we're really punishing for it. We're already three citadels on him, and he's really slow. Another citadel. So there we go. He's on a fraction of health. Just get a little bit more, or one more salvo on him, and that should take care of it. Now we gotta concentrate on this Budnovi, the buddy. I'm gonna call him the buddy. And the Nuremberg gets taken out by a friendly. The buddy's turning away from us because the friendly torpedoes, so we shouldn't be shooting at him anymore. So, of course, there's no shortage of ships that are showing us their side. So another salvo goes out to the Pensacola because he's definitely showing us his side. I'm getting a little closer to the island than I would have wanted to, so I'm gonna decide after this next salvo I'm going to make a full turn away and then start heading back up north. And the buddy, he just wants to show us his side again, so again, if he wants to show the side, we will teach him what that happens, or what happens when we do that. Going after the Pensacola again, because he wants to go and show us his side. But now I'm too close to the island, so I can't get all four turrets onto him without running a knots or aground. So the situation looks good for us. We are two ships up, or three ships up right now. Now that the Pensacola has gone down, so we have a good margin. It's not a dire game right now, but we still just need to go up north. I can see that there's the battleship. We can see one of the cruisers, and on the mini-map right now you can see the airplanes started heading down from directly north. I know they're going after that Murmansk because he's out of position. I try and get as close to him as I can, but it's just not soon enough, and I can't take out any of those planes before they just devastate that Murmansk. And now here comes the torpedoes, and yeah, he's going for it. So good on that CV player for a really good drop and, you know, taking advantage of an out of place ship. So the battleship and the buddy are the only ones that we can see right now. So we start heading in their direction, but we're spotted, and it's 16 kilometers for each of them, and there's just no way they can spot me. And then, of course, at that time, we notice that the B cap is being captured, which obviously is one of the destroyers. So we have to go there, and almost like it's teamwork that Koningsberg and we turn at the same exact moment, and we're both on the same page, gonna go stop the cap on B. So we're waiting for the friendly CV's fighter planes to go into B and spot him. We spot the Minikaze. He sends out torpedoes, but it's not towards us, so it's okay. And we get a good salvo. We should hit him with a couple. And of course he disappears, but it's okay because we got a fire, so he should be using damage control. And we also got some base defense points, which are always nice. And again, he disappeared before we could shoot at him, but no, we didn't get him. But that's okay. He's on low health, and he's going to be running scared. And he's outside of the cap circle, so our cap is safe. I figured he was actually going to keep going to the A cap, but it looks to me that he's going to go north. And from what I was gathering before of how the planes kept out, I thought the enemy carrier was directly north. So I figured that this Murmansk and the destroyers were going to be defending the carrier. So that's why I started heading out this way. Not only to close the distance between the destroyers and me, so that way I could try and shoot them better or spot them. But of course, you know, might as well get a shot off on that buddy. Maybe we can take him down. And also we don't want him to be shooting our side while we're charging. We got one hit on that first salvo, and our rear turrets take him out. The Murmansk shot some torpedoes at us, but thankfully the range wasn't good enough, because if they were longer range, we definitely would have gotten hit by at least one. So there's obviously another destroyer out there, because that Minikaze was not to that angle. He was further to the west than to the north, and also he's now being spotted in the A cap, like we predicted him to go to earlier. So he's over there, and the Murmansk is in front of us, and there has to be another destroyer ahead of us. So knowing that, we need to take control and get rid of that Murmansk as soon as possible, and that way we can just concentrate on the destroyers and hunt them without having to worry about our sides being exposed. We missed this shot on the Mikaze. I was trying to get the back guns just to kill him really quick, you know, like one of those hip shots, really cool, but it didn't work out. got a low roll on that, so one more shot should take care of him, and we do. So I keep maneuvering, not only to make sure I have as minimal side exposed to that Murmansk, but I keep noticing these destroyers are going to be pushing out these torpedoes at us. I'm steering towards the torpedoes because I was trying just to go behind the Königsberg. I wasn't actually, suicidal or anything. So, but of course he gets hit and taken out of the game, so we still have to turn even further to get behind him.
Torpedoes to port.
And here comes even more torpedoes. So that second salvo of torpedoes tells me that that destroyer is moving from the north to the west. And I can either start sailing and charge that Congo, which I don't think I can win a gunfight with a Congo. As good as the Pensacola's guns are, I just don't feel comfortable with it. I've been playing a lot more German cruisers and recently Russian cruisers, and it's always nice to have that backup. Like if you charge a battleship, you can have some torpedoes. But with the American cruisers, you just don't have that safety net where you can defend yourself in a really hard situation. But going back to this game, we are detected, and it's definitely not the Congo. So I have to dodge the shells from him, and I'm going to have to dodge the potentially incoming torpedoes from the other destroyer, the Mitsuki. And I don't know exactly where he is, but he's giving lots of good indications of where. But I'm doing my best to give him a really hard time trying to spot me because I'm turning left, turning right, going up north. My end goal is I'm still thinking that the enemy carrier is up north. So I'm trying to go around this little northern island so that way I can swoop around because that's the logical place that he's hiding. But a spoiler alert, he's not over there. I never find him. He's actually up in the A1 area because that's where the planes end up going. But I did not see it at the time on the map. So, but this is the theory that I was going after. So our friendly planes are going north and they spot the Mitsuki. And he's got really low health, and he sent up another torpedo salvo at us, but they are poorly aimed because we have been new maneuvering, and our shots take him out of the game. So not surprisingly, that was a victory. We earned 6,100 experience, and we received 296,000 credits. So we sank 4 ships, we got 6 critadels, which is really nice, and we had 52 penetrating shots, and we also reset the cap 2 times. So I think those really had a big impact on why we got so much experience, because as you can see on the team score, we got 2,038 base experience for our 4 kills. And because the reason why that's surprising for me is because you look at it, we only did 63,000 damage, so it's not a massive game. We did some pretty good damage, but the thing is that you get more experience for having greater percentages of ships taken out. So if you only do 10% of damage on a couple ships as opposed to 100% of one ship, you get more experience. So you're contributing more. So because of those 6 citadels, I got more experience for the base. So that's my game at the Pensacola. I think I'm really starting to get the hang of it. After I've upgraded all of the modules, it really seems to be a really fun ship. That it turns fast, the guns are good, and it really feels like I found that sweet spot to play in the middle, not too close, not too far away. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys think I'm trash and I just got a lucky game, or if this is the real way to play at Pensacola. How have you guys had a better success with your Pensacolas? I really love to hear it, and also that way we can possibly get rid of that stigma that everybody doesn't like it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Vanrustic.